where they say eyes of Ganon are everywhere. You go, well, that's kind of how I feel right now because, I was at an NA meeting last night, right? And there's this guy, and I was at his house for a while, and I was talking about something personal with this one dude outside, and this guy, like, he's just I, he's a snake, dude. He was like trying to like creep in closer to hear what I was saying or whatever, trying to listen in on my conversation. And I'm like, dude, these people need to get a life outside of focusing on what I'm doing and focus on themselves, and actually focus on their own lives. Because that's what I do, right? I focus on my own life and what I'm doing and what's going on with me. And I prioritize my needs. Comics Anonymous program, or maybe it's just me, but there's like people, they watch like everything I do, almost in the hopes that I'll fail or I'll fuck up or something will go like really wrong for me or whatever. And it comes from a place of insecurity, it comes from a place of deep insecurity where they're butthurt about their own lives and they're miserable fucks and they just want to see other people as miserable as they are. They don't want to see people succeed, and that's just a sad thing, man, because we're supposed to be there encouraging people and uplifting people and showing people that they can make it, and then once we make it, we're supposed to be an example for the new people so they can make it, but it's just been ever since COVID, or even maybe I just didn't notice it before COVID, but maybe even before COVID, but like especially after COVID, the whole principle has just become completely flipped on its head. And now it's like when you're doing good in that program, there's people and drama and they watch you, and they try to listen. Like I was having a private conversation. I might have said this already, but I was having a private conversation and this guy was like creeping in, trying to listen to what I was saying or whatever, And so I'm like, hey, dude, let's go over here. And I just straight up moved right away. And then the guy, he like walks back into the building. But then like a couple minutes later, he walks right back out and goes to his car and leaves. So he might have just been like standing at the door, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if he was watching these videos that I make. I wouldn't be surprised if he was like looking into every facet of my life, because these people are fucking creeps, dude. Like they do shit like that, like if they can get any dirt on you or any like like listen in, oh, what's going on with him, or they listen through gossip or whatever, because they want to know if you're doing bad or not, and they want to see like, oh, did he lose his job, did he mess something up, or did he like relapse or something, and they're trying to get as much info on you as possible. Hey, what's going on? Someone just joined the chat. Whoever you are, welcome, welcome. I appreciate it. I just went live today to talk about, wow, it says 28 now. Okay. But I'm talking about like how people in the Narcotics Anonymous program, how the whole thing's become kind of flipped on its head and they use it to, where am I from? I'm not going to say. USA. How's that? But anyway, they use the program in the opposite way that it's meant to be used. It's meant to like lift people up, like you're new in there and someone comes and helps you out and then lifts you up. And then, by the way, Samanto, welcome to my chat. Not trying to be rude or anything. I'm just not going to say straight up where I'm from. But anyway, they try to like lift you up and or they lift you up until you have like a year or two clean, and you're supposed to do the same thing for them, right? But it's worked in kind of the opposite fashion, at least for me. It's worked in the opposite fashion. Because people, I'm not going to look at the chat for just a second because I'm going to finish speaking my thought here. But basically, like they like use the program to see who's doing good and then like spy on them because they're jealous or whatever the hell it is, and then they're looking for like them to fail or whatever, and I don't think I'm the only one who goes through it because I've heard other people share about it before, and say like, there's people watching them waiting for them to fail and shit. I'm getting my 3 years clean at the end of the month, and I'm really happy about that. I'm really excited, because I went through a lot this year, man. I was in a recovery house, quote unquote, and a lot of those recovery houses are dog shit. Like one of them, I'm not going to name names or anything. One of them doesn't have central air in the summer and doesn't have heating in the winter. One of them allows people who are using in the house. One of them is like really strict, and they cram like 15 people into a house or whatever. The only good house, I think, is the one. Actually, I'm not going to say because then that would be me saying where I'm from, but you get the idea. So, yeah, I've had a long week. You guys. Like actually a long year. like I said, it's been a long year. Basically, I went through, um, being at this house, right? This recovery house or whatever, where people were using inside the house. They were drinking every day, and they were like manipulating and stealing and shit. So I left, and then I was living in my car for a week, and then I went and moved in with a friend, and we were splitting rent or whatever. And I'm still at that point now, but I had a setback with my job because they laid everybody off, right? And I was one of those laid off, unfortunately. They had a surplus of stock, and I don't wish them, any ill will or anything like that. I just leave it in the past to move on because it had to happen, dude. This job was killing me. This job was absolutely killing me, man. Like physically, like at my old job, I was able to I was able to load up welding machines, and I was able to go and ride my bike 8 miles a weekend. And with this job, I couldn't even move, man. And like it was so bad. Monday would come around the next week after like the weekend had passed, and I'd still be sore, dude. And they just expected these ridiculous quotas from us, and they tried to keep on raising them. And eventually, that's why I'm old. Yeah, dude. I am getting old. I mean, and you can tell it too by the hair, like, I mean, like, I'm almost old gray now, man. Shit's ridiculous, dude. They basically, okay, so they had us remulch the entire property last week. They offered us $300 to do it. And so we went out there, we agreed to it, like 15 of us or so, and we went and remulched the entire property, make it look nice for when they lay us off, so the new people see it, and so they could be like, oh, it looks nice, and then they sent us home 4 hours early, 2 hours early the first day, 4 hours early the second day, and cut 6 hours out of that. That's like minus $100 right there. So they were really only paying us 200. It's a really scummy thing to do. But then I get this random call on Friday, like, you've been laid off with like 10 other people. And it's like, wow, So I'm just sitting here right now, kind of just chilling and waiting to recalibrate on my next move. Hey, Kazim, how you doing? Or cozy him. Um, and I got kind of sick from it too, dude. I was sick for 14 days, right? And I was feeling a little better, but it was raining outside yesterday and it was cold, and we were out there for like 4 good hours, like remulching everything. So I'm a little sick again. So my voice is a little raspy, but I'm just kind of sitting here chilling, just like figuring out my next move. See, with me, I have faith in God and I have faith in Jesus Christ. And I believe that as long as I maintain that faith, everything will work out. My motto for my recovery, honestly, is just don't give up. I was saying that at the NA meeting last night. Don't give up, I was living in a car this year. I suffered numerous setbacks this year, and I just lost my job, literally. But I don't ever give up. I'm getting 3 years clean at the end of this month. And I've survived a lot this year through my recovery, stuff that most people wouldn't survive, man. It's very few people that can be homeless and not use, man. I mean, that's not easy, but so wow, it's already 9 minutes in, huh? I don't know if I'm gonna cut this short today, honestly. I don't even really feel like talking, but basically, like, the main point of this whole video, hey, how you doing, man? You all right? The whole point of this video, though, is like when you rise up, expect people to challenge that and expect people to like want to see you fall back down to their level. I appreciate that, Pizza. Thank you. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that so much. Expect them to fall back down to your level, though. The higher you rise, there's going to be a more polarized opinion on you. Like for me, for instance, people either seem to really like me or really not like me. And there's really no in between, man. There's really no in between. There's a lot of hate and Andes out there. Yeah, they can, dude. But, as long as I don't give up and as long as I keep pushing forward and as long as I stay strong, nothing can defeat me. Right. There's that motto in that old Family Guy episodes, the first 4 seasons before it got kind of stupid, but it was like a different show back then, and it had like a different theming and everything. But there was this one motto, though they tried to defeat me, they can all just freaking eat me. And I love that so much, man. I use that motto in keep pushing me. I will, dude. I will. Absolutely. Thank you. and I will get another job, because now the difference between the last time before I had this job and now is that I actually have something on my resume, and I actually have something directly on there from right now that I can put on there. Do I believe there's a Q&A sticker here? I'll try the Q&A sticker. Is that how it works? Done. Okay, I'm starting this Q&A. I don't know if that's how it works. Oh, no, I was just supposed to put believe in ghosts. Okay, I got it. I just put yes, I do. Man, I believe in the ghosts come from the etheric realm, and it's a realm in between this realm and the next. There's the realm beyond the etheric, which is the astral realm, which is like the realm of dreams, which is what Christians call purgatory, and then beyond that is the mental realm, which is like what Christians call heaven. Spirits, I believe in spirits, absolutely, dude. And I think a big problem with our society today is that a lot of people are just demonically possessed, dude. Honestly, I think a lot of people have demonic possession and they don't even know it. A lot of people don't even believe in that shit, And imagine, like they say, the devil's best trick that he played on humanity was convincing them that he didn't even exist. And look at how few people today believe that God and Jesus actually exist, man. It's very few people now. I'm not sure if I believe in them. No, it's cool, dude. Like, not everyone does. Not everyone does. Some people need the proof, and the proof's really in the pudding. Like, some people need to actually see it for themselves to believe it. I've seen some weird shit though that I can't really explain. Like I've seen lights flicker before in strange ways. I've looked at a light before that was flickering and literally held out my hand and said, I command all demons to leave. I command all ghosts to leave. I command all hungry ghosts to disperse. And then the light literally came back on. One time I had the light flickering and I played this subliminal music or whatever, erase all negativity. And I played it on my speakers and the light immediately popped back on and stopped flickering, So I've seen a few things that make me believe, but yeah. I don't know. I feel like I have to consistently talk and be interesting, but it's kind of hard today because, like I said, I'm just kind of like worn down, I'm in the weekend period, so I've worked all week, so I'm tired. I'm not really stressed about not having the job, honestly, but it's like it definitely was a shock, Weird noises, lights flickering, and my drawer somehow opened on its own. I was home alone. I thought I was seeing things, Yeah, dude. I mean, there's some weird shit that can happen, man. Straight up, like things you cannot explain at all. And then you just kind of like try to write it off in your mind, and you say, "Did I really see that? Was that real?" But then but then like it's like you did, you absolutely did. But it's like it's hard to like, I don't know, dude. It's hard to like cement it into your mind that it's true when you don't believe it's true, Like if you don't believe in that stuff and then you see something like that happen, you might write it off as like, that might have just been a figment of my imagination. I don't know. But then like, when you see it multiple times though, like, dude, like you straight up know, like it's hard to believe sometimes. Yeah, I know, man. Do you consider yourself like not religious necessarily? I mean, this might be a bit of a personal question, not religious, but like, do you believe in anything outside of like the physical realm and this life in general? Right, exactly. You kind of write it off and you say it might have just been in my mind, it might have just been in my head. And for all it might have been, dude. It could have just been a figment of your imagination. But like I've like straight up seen it, dude, like the flickering lights, and then like, I'll say something or I'll play like a certain sound frequency and it'll just pop back on. It's very strange. And it's almost like you can't deny it when you see it, You sometimes believe in God. That's cool. That's good, man. I'll tell you, like I said, my motto is I don't give up on anything. How do I get rid of this sticker, by the way? I don't know if I can or not. Yeah, there we go. Okay. See, I'm learning as I go, and that's cool, man. So I'm glad I had this little session tonight, because like I learned how to use the Q&A stickers, and I try to learn little things at a time, and that's how I operate at work too. I learn like one thing a day, or like just little things here and there until I pick up on everything and I eventually just know everything, about the job and can do it in my sleep. But yeah, God is what's gotten me through the hard times in my life, dude. Like, I mean, because how old do you think I am, with all this gray hair right here? I'll just say this: I'm not even 40 yet, and I have all this gray hair already. I've been through a lot, man. Like I said, I'm a recovering addict, and yeah, most of my hair is already gray. So I use God and I use Jesus to get me through the hard times, and the motto of never giving up. And when you do that, things will get better. Things will get better, and they will improve. I've seen like maybe a shadow figure in a hotel. Yeah, a shadow person, absolutely. Absolutely, dude. I've heard about shadow people. I used to have a friend actually, and he used to see them all the time. Like in the middle of the night or whatever, he would like be like half asleep, but like he's seen them, dude. Hey, how you doing? I'm actually getting a lot of momentum in this chat. I'm kind of surprised about that because I feel like I just sound like absolute shit today. So that's cool, dude. I'm just sitting here. I'm just watching TV right now, and I'm just chilling. It's my weekend, and technically, it's weird, dude, because like I got laid off yesterday, so it would still be my weekend, and I wouldn't have even had to go back to work yet. But it already feels different. I can already feel like the shift and the momentum of knowing that I won't be going back to the same place on Monday. But I have a feeling that something even better is going to come along now, dude. Because that's how it works, man. You lose something and you realize God put that path in there in your life to make it happen. I've been getting an intuitive nudge to leave this job for over a month now. I didn't take that step because I was afraid. I'm like, no, I need this job. I want to stay here. I don't want to leave right now. So God forced the change in my life so something better can come into it, and so I can move along and make some more progress in my life. And that's what I like about God. God does the things for you that you can't do for yourself. And this might just be a bit of a rant on God, but I really do. God is a big part of my life. I'm not a Christian. I'm not any denomination of Christianity or a Christian or even any religion for that matter. I just believe in God and what I call Jesus. I believe Jesus Christ is like the spirit of kindness. Whenever you're kind to somebody and you don't expect anything in return and you don't talk about it, like let's say you see a homeless person on the street, you give them a few bucks and you don't go bragging about it to people, like that's the spirit of kindness right there. And that in itself is the spirit of Jesus. So that's kind of how I look at it. So yeah, but I'm running out of things to talk about. Like I'm a very fast talker, and I can like really like just lay it all on the line really quick. But then when I run out of things to talk about, like I just get dead quiet. And there's really nothing left to say. So I'm kind of like keeping the ball rolling here, but I feel like I'm gonna run out of things to talk about. I woke up in the middle of the night and I saw a shadow figure at the end of my bed. I think he or she was saying, "Get out while you can," and after that, nothing happened again. How long ago was that? And are you still in the same place? And if you are, did anything crazy happen? Like, did you not get out? And then, or do you think it was like the spirit wanted you to go, like, like get out, like get out, that kind of thing. Like, because, there are dark spirits like that, and they just don't want you around. They don't want you in what they perceive to be their space. Also, do you know if anyone died in your house ever? Because that could play into it. 2 years ago, I still live there. And you never seen anything crazy like that since? Yeah, man. I mean, that could have just been like a spirit possessing your space or whatever. So maybe someone died in your house and they, now you're in what they perceive to be their house, because in the etheric, it's very similar to this realm. It's like this physical reality is 3-dimensional. The etheric is 4-dimensional, the realm of ghosts and whatnot. They call it the realm of hungry ghosts in Buddhism. And there's a book called The Realm of Hungry Ghosts, where basically etheric spirits attach to people because they can't get the things in life. Like, let's say you smoke a lot or you inhale a lot of nicotine through this vape here, and you can't let that go, or you can't let a big aspect of your life go, like an addiction, or you just had a really good life, or maybe you're afraid you're going to go to hell or something like that. You'll stick around in the etheric realm. And then in the etheric realm, basically, it's a lot like this reality, and it actually overlaps with this reality because there's physicality and there's energy, right? Those are the two components of reality. Energy is ether, and there's like 5 stars on the pentagram. There's basically 5 elements: earth, wind, water, fire, and then the fifth one is ether, which is basically spirit or energy. And so the physical realm is the physicality aspect of that, and then the etheric realm is the energetic aspect of that. And the realms literally overlap, so that's why like we come into contact with ghosts, and why like go like hauntings and shit like that happens. And it only happens to people that are sensitive enough to like those like clairvoyant enough to actually be able to like discern those things, you know. Um, oh, I thought I had another message. You just wanted me to do another Q&A sticker, but my voice is starting to hurt, so I think I'm going to cut it here, you guys. But yeah, basically, like, don't let those hate Nandies get you down, you know? Like, if people are jealous of you or they're, like, hating on you a lot, it probably means you're doing something right, dude. It probably means you're making the right moves, man, because people are miserable and misery loves company. So don't give up. And if things are hard for you right now, you know, just keep going and they'll get better. Other than when I saw another shadow figure when I was my living room and the shadow figure was at the door in the same house. Dude, it's probably the same one then. It's probably literally the same spirit. You probably have like an etheric ghost living in your house or something like that. It's very interesting. I saw a shadow person one time when I was like 10 or something like that. I saw one, and it was like at 4 o'clock in the morning at the foot of my bed, and I only saw it for a split second, but it scared the hell out of me, man. But there's a lot of like reports of like, you know, shadow people. You know, like there's deliriant reports of like the Hat Man, like a shadowy person, like wearing a hat or whatever, you know, and he's like supposed to be like the king of the shadow people or whatever. And people only see him on like very high doses of deliriance apparently, but like in medium doses of deliriance they see like shadowy figures walking around. So I believe that deliriance take you to the etheric realm. I would never touch deliriance now. I've only done it once. Like I said, I'm a recovering addict. I don't mess around with any of that shit anymore. But I did take Benadryl one time, a very high dose of it, and had a delirium experience, and I would never do it again, dude. Because the thing about it is, all I remembered was walking up and down the stairs all night, and I woke up and I went to the kitchen, and there were coffee grounds all over the floor that I just dumped out. I don't even remember doing it, dude. And it was not a pleasant experience either. It felt like there was like a 50-pound weight on my back. I'm not even lying. He was like 7'4". That's crazy, dude. Yeah, that would probably scare the hell out of me, dude. But these spirits, they feed on fear. Some of them straight up feed on fear, dude. So if you could like stand, let's say the spirit's just like the shadow person's just like standing there and looking at you and you're not afraid, it will not have any power over you. It's like people enter like the astral realm and astral projections and shit, and they see like negative thought forms that they've created with their own negative thoughts, and they're like demonic, you know. And then people get afraid of them, and then once you're afraid of that thing, it has power over you, you know. Just like when you feed something your attention. That's why this Buddhist master was teaching a student, and the student said, "What's your secret?" And he said, "Attention." And the guy's like, "What the hell do you mean?" He's like, "Attention." He's like, I don't fucking get it. You know, he's like, attention, 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 because attention is a currency, dude. And wherever you put your attention, like let's say somebody like tries to like, you know, piss you off, and you put a lot of negative attention into that, you like think about it a lot, you know, you're giving negative attention, you're feeding energy to that person. Just like with a spirit, you know, if you're afraid of it, you're feeding it attention or energy. Crazy enough, one of my dead great great granddad was like 7 foot. So you've seen a lot of these things then, huh? So wait, was it you or someone else who said they don't know if they believe? Oh, somebody else who said they don't know if they believe. But you've seen a lot of shadow people then. Interesting. Yeah. But I think I'm gonna cut it here, guys. Just my voice is like getting kind of like raspy now, and I don't really think I can keep doing this. So I'm just gonna cut it here, and I hope you all have a great night. You know, this is probably the most engagement I've ever gotten out of like a live stream before, so that's pretty cool. So I'll see you guys around, and you have a great night. All right, and thanks for the subs. I really appreciate it. And you guys have a great night. All right, bye.